Welcome to the News Hour. It's been a week of record-breaking heat around the world. The average global temperature on Wednesday hit 62.9 degrees Fahrenheit. According to researchers at the University of Maine, that matched the unofficial record high just set on Tuesday. The grim milestones are the latest in a series of climate change-driven extremes. Out-of-control wildfires in Canada have burned millions of acres, displaced tens of thousands of people, and blanketed wide swaths of the U.S. in thick smoke.
Discover the shocking truth about our planet's fate. It can be intimidating to join the fight to defend our world. It may be challenging to observe the daily effects of our efforts. We can wonder, am I really making a difference despite all our hard work? It's reasonable to ask that question, and some experts have even suggested that placing too much focus on taking individual action may divert attention from the very real need for larger actors with more clout to take the lead in our battle against climate change, such as businesses and governments. After all, a large corporation leaves a higher carbon footprint than a single person. Energy sources hold a major role in damaging or protecting our environment. All of them make an impact on our environment. Energy sources can be understood in two categories: renewable and non-renewable. Of these two categories, non-renewable energy sources, including fossil fuels like coal and oil, are considered to be more harmful to the environment than the other. These have been reported to have caused air and water pollution, damage to wildlife and their habitats, and, most importantly, global warming. If we're keen on improving our environment, we must alter our energy consumption. By this alteration, we mean the shift to renewable sources of energy. The shift to the production of energy through renewable energy sources calls for an improvement in the infrastructure. But once that's done and the usage of renewable energy increases, the benefits that will follow will be massive in many ways. The major relief that will take place is relief to the environment. But while it's true that the majority of climate action should come from entities with the largest carbon footprints and also carbon emissions, it's indisputable that we also need to take individual action along with all this. Our efforts do make a difference, and the urgency is increasing as we start to experience the negative environmental effects of our planet's warming. Additionally, there are numerous things we can do to protect the environment and to save the planet that will also greatly benefit us. Therefore, striving to preserve our world and adopting environmentally friendly practices is good for both the planet and you. Renewable energy is one of the most important ways to achieve a green energy future collectively. And now, regular energy customers may contribute to creating a future powered by renewable energy. There are now methods for homeowners and renters to support sustainable energy generation and gain from its lower costs thanks to recent developments in clean energy technology and the evolution of regional energy policy. You could, for instance, put solar panels on your roof to produce clean electricity every day. Additionally, you can consider constructing wind turbines if you have a farm or a sizable piece of land. There are other solutions available to those who do not own a home, do not have qualified roofs, or cannot afford the initial purchase of solar panels. The most significant hazard currently facing our world is climate change. In order to avoid catastrophic harm, carbon emissions must be reduced to or below the levels set forth in the Paris Climate Agreement. It will only be possible to fulfill those emissions objectives if we continue to rely predominantly on conventional fossil fuels, as the world's energy demand is predicted to rise by 56% over the next couple of decades. Support for laws that permit the conversion of former mining sites into wind and solar energy facilities have allowed thousands of acres of abandoned mine sites in Nevada's Great Basin to now open for the development of renewable energy sources. New wind turbines and solar panels won't need to disrupt more natural ecosystems because they will be placed on already disturbed land. Here's how renewable sources of energy are going to save the environment from pollution. Lesser emission of carbon. Using renewable energy resources such as wind as well as solar energy eliminates carbon dioxide emissions in the air. Present in plenty, the only thing that is harnessing renewable energy requires correct technology and sufficient infrastructure. The consumption of renewable energy sources brings down carbon emissions as it requires no burning or extraction, unlike non-renewable sources of energy. No harm to the environment. Non-renewable energy sources are mainly extracted from the core of the Earth, including oil, natural gas, or coal. This implies that it requires more exploitation of the Earth, leading to constant drilling, which incurs a good amount of cost. This constant drilling and harnessing also leads to the release of toxic gases into the atmosphere, which is dangerous for both human beings as well as the environment. But, on the contrary, extracting energy from renewable sources does not entail this much exploitation of the Earth and is easily obtained without causing any harm to the environment. Curbs global warming. Human activity constantly burdens our environment with carbon dioxide and other global warming emissions. These hazardous gases form a huge blanket on the planet that traps heat. This, consequently, leads to a network of significant and harmful impacts, leading to frequent storms, drought, rise in sea level, and extinction of wildlife, amidst other things. Contrary to these, most renewable energy sources leave little or no global warming emissions. Even when they have emissions, they are very minimal in nature and have the least environmental impact. Protection to wildlife. Dams and reservoirs are utilized for several purposes, like agricultural irrigation, flood control, and recreation, adversely affecting wildlife. Harnessing energy sources from here poses another danger to them and their habitat. By choosing renewable sources, we can also protect them and their habitat. Human needs are constantly growing, and at a rapid pace, and hence, so is the environmental damage. It's high time that we shift to an alternate form of energy to fulfill our needs judiciously while protecting the environment and saving it for future generations. In addition to the above-listed environmental benefits of renewable sources of energy, there are other benefits too attached to it, like affordability, reliability owing to its abundant availability, and its inexhaustible nature. Lessens the adverse environmental impacts. As there will be an increase in the consumption of renewable energy resources, there will be a proportionate decrease in harmful environmental impacts. Renewable energy sources are the clean energy source that aids in bringing down the residual waste. With the decrease in waste, there will be a decrease in the rate of carbon footprints, leading to a greener and cleaner environment. Individual climate action may seem intimidating or even ineffective. However, the reality is that each of our individual actions does make a difference. And in order to actually preserve the planet, we must create a culture that values taking climate action and cultivating environmentally friendly behaviors. By connecting every energy consumer like you to nearby community solar projects or assisting you in switching to a greener electricity source at your own home, flat, or place of business, Perch is trying to help put together some of the puzzle's pieces. We can hasten the switch to cleaner, renewable electricity by working together. What are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed today's video and found it interesting, then make sure to leave us a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon to always be updated with the most exciting content as soon as it's uploaded. Thanks for watching. See you again in another video.